Hello and welcome, Dirty William here with an update, not for my channel, but for me personally and my main character on Dungeons & Dragons Online. I just finished up the last life that I needed for Completionist, so that, to me, is pretty cool. Let us check it out. This character started off as a Warforged Favored Soul. It was very fun to play, and then I had the misguided idea, hey, I'm going to get Completionist. And 2 years later, here I am. Yes, it took that long, because I don't group that much. I'm mostly solo, so I start off doing Elites, then Elite gets too tough because I suck as a player, so I drop down to hard, whatever. But I have fun, so that's what the game is about. I'm going to go over really quickly the list of what I've done, the different lives that I've had to get to where I'm at now, and then talk a little bit about this current build. So first life was Favored Soul. It was very fun, but then I decided, hey, I'm going to try Completionist. So I TR'd to a Paladin because I thought, well, what past life would be good from here on out? Paladin would be good because I get the healing amp. So I did Paladin. It was 15 Paladin, 4 Monk, and 1 Fighter. And what that was a healing amp build. So I had 2 different modes I could work in. One, I could use light armor and Khopesh, like a skirmisher mode. Then I had one that was more all about the healing amp stuff. So I had my Vampiric Stone Dust wraps. I had various levels in Paladin and Monk, the different levels of healing amplifications. So I had all that going for me, and it was actually pretty decent. I think I enjoyed it mostly because it was only a second life character, and it didn't take long to cap. Third life was Monk, because I really liked the Monk fighting style. I also had, at that point, collected a lot of handwraps, so I tried Monk. At level 18, though, they changed something in the game about the robes, and it wasn't the PRR stuff, I don't think, but what happened there was I was taking a ton of damage and couldn't really heal up from it. That was from like level 18 to 20, so I was like, okay, forget about this, I'm going to TR to something else. So I TR'd to a Rogue. This was a 13 Rogue, 6 Ranger, and 1 Fighter. The 1 Fighter, I think, was for a feat, I'm pretty sure. The 6 Ranger gave me the full 2-weapon fighting line and mini shot and some other things. And the 13 Rogue obviously was for the past life. It was a 13 Rogue because I think every odd level, like 1, 3, 5, whatever, that's when you get extra sneak attack dice. The problem was, once I got to about Giant Hold and in what was it? Orchard. Yeah. I wasn't really doing that much damage, even though I was using Khopesh and stuff. Why? Because my sneak attack damage wasn't going through. Because, why? I mostly solo. So if I do another rogue life, it'll be one where I'll just have to group. That's just all there is to it. The next life, I decided this is when Menace of the Underdark came out, and all the new cool, shiny, awesome gear that came with it. I thought, you know what? I'm going to get a good farming life, a good farming build, at least for me, and I'm going to go get a bunch of stuff. So I went with Warforged Favored Soul Monk at this time. The Monk, even though I had to give up my Lit 2, the Monk, I had a lot of wraps and stuff, so gave this a shot, and it was really fun. I got a ton of commendations and whatnot, but then I thought, well, if I'm going to go for a Completionist, why do I need all this epic stuff? I don't need all this epic gear and whatnot. So I'll just save the commendations for later. That's pretty much what I've done all this time. Next life was Fighter. It was 16 Fighter, 4 Monk. Again, I really like the Monk. I like the fighting style. I like the different things that it gives, the class, what it gives. That life, though, wasn't really that great as far as like DPS or anything, because whenever I think Fighter, I think just knocking things to pieces. It didn't really work that well, though, because mostly the crit profile of handwraps is terrible. There's not much of a crit profile to them compared to like Khopesh or some other bladed type of weapon or anything, really. It's just the crits aren't there. So it was okay, but not that great. I had a problem landing my Stunning Fist at the time, or not Stunning Fist, my Stunning Blow. I took Stunning Blow and Stunning Fist, figuring, okay, I'll use both kind of interchangeably. I couldn't get my DC high enough for the Stunning Blow, so that was irritating. Oh, woohoo. The next one was Barbarian, the Barbarian life. This was a mixed up kind of life because I wanted to throw some extra things in there. I didn't really care for Barbarian at the time. Still really don't. Not my style, I don't think. I didn't have the healing even on this. I was like, okay, what can I do for some healing? Also, traps are going to be a problem, so let's do Artificer and Rogue. That'll give me enough skill points to take care of the traps and just the bare minimum amount of Barbarian that I need to get that past life. It was a horrible life, and I ended up using a stone, XP stone, to get out of it because it was atrocious. So I do not recommend that split. At least it didn't work well for me. Next life was Bard. 16 Bard, 2 Barbarian, and 2 Fighter. That was actually pretty fun because you have all these different melee buffs and things like that. However, because you're front loading the Barbarian and the Fighter, your buffs come later, like later. And if you bank XP from like level 18 to whatever, you're not going to get that many spells, I guess. I don't know. For like a capped character, it wouldn't be too bad, at like level 20, but again, this is all for get the life done, try something out, get the life done, and I'll move on to something else. The next life was Wizard. That was very fun, obviously, because Wizard, all you have to do is go into a place, throw down a web, a couple of AoE, stand there and watch everything die and laugh. One-shot stuff with your Finger of Death and stuff. So, yeah, that was a fun life. The Cleric Monk. I went back to the monk stuff just because I thought, you know what, I want to give this another shot. And it really worked well with Cleric because I had more than enough healing available to me and all the different buffs that a Cleric has. I was wisdom based, so my stunning fist was like landing every single time. Excuse me. So that was nice. In addition to that, the destruction and blade barrier did a lot of damage because of my DC, based on my wisdom. The next life was Druid. It was 18 Druid, 2 Monk. I used wolf form most of the time. The problem that I had with that is I had to zoom way out like this, way out from my character. Because if I was up closer like this and used a lever or a door or interacted with anything really, my computer would want to vomit and puke all over the place. I would get like frame rate of like 2, so didn't like that very much. Other than that, very fun. At level 20, I did Devil Assault, just on normal, at level 20. Oh, excuse me. Level 20, I did Devil Assault, and it was actually pretty good. Once I hit 20 and I had all those spell slots, it was Earthquake and lightning storm and ice stuff and acid rain and just a big mess of you come over here and you're dead. And that was really fun to see all the things die. Next life was Sorcerer. This was 18 Sorcerer, 2 favored soul, again Warforged, because healing a Warforged is easier whenever you're an arcane. So there you go. Fun life. The only other experience I had with Sorcerer was on another character of mine who started off as an Artificer, then went to Sorcerer, and then went back to Artificer. On that Sorcerer life, boy, it is just raining everywhere today. This is not very pretty. On that Sorcerer life, I went with a Mr. Cow style build, and it was Warforged, pure 20 Sorcerer, and it was Acid Savant, and it really opened things up for me for Acid Savant, just so I could use fire and ice. Not too many spells in the air, realm, so I just focused on those 3 and just kind of eschewed the air stuff. It worked really well, but this time I decided to just try something different on this character, and I think it was like an epic type of build, or built for epics, and I did a few, and it was okay. It was based off of the favored soul, like proccing some stuff and getting a lot of spell points and stuff back. It wasn't a bad life. Next up was Ranger. This is the build, which I will also link in the description. This is the build I have another video on, and it's a really good build. This is one of the better builds, I think, that I played. Maybe it's just because of my playstyle, but you have 18 ranger, 1 fighter, and 1 rogue. The 1 fighter is for a feat and haste boost, I think. The 1 rogue is for trap skills, and that's pretty much all you need on that build to get your trap skills. Had full everything, all the things I could do. So it was really nice. Oh, excuse me. I should be more excited, but I'm so tired. Anyway, that build is really nice. Very survivable. Lots of UMD for invis and heal and raise dead. It had it used Kopesh, so lots of really good crits. So down below, check out that link to the video where I describe more about that build because it was really, really good. I saved the Ranger for near my last life because I didn't like Ranger. Had I known, I would have done it up here someplace because it was actually pretty fun. So the next one, the one that I currently am, and I'll be TRing out of whenever, is Artificer. And you'll notice the split is weird. It's 9 Druid, 2 Monk, and then 9 Artificer. There is a build that is basically 9 Druid, 2 Monk, and then 9 whatever past life, because the Druid, since it came out last, whatever you add in here is not going to, that's what's going to matter, not the Druid, or obviously the 2 levels of Monk. So you can use that Druid Monk split on anything. And it was an okay build. It was, I think, around level 11 or 12 once I got like green still stuff, especially level 11. That's when things started going better, but I'm not sure if I want to try this build again. It probably works really well like on a melee. Like for a rogue, for example, that would be great for a rogue, just because of the extra sneak attack and things like that. The healing was okay, but not anything special. I got to use robes and wraps and all that stuff, but I'm thinking now with the PRR changes, what I would probably do if I wanted to do a split like this again is I would go for Druid, but maybe not Monk, and instead go for Rogue and try to keep up my Rogue skills, because that's like a 30% boost to your XP in some quests, and it also saves people from dying, so that's kind of cool. That would mean giving up a lot of my, cool other weapons and things like that, but I don't know. I could still use wraps, I guess, but the light armor or the robes and stuff, unless it's a caster, I just really don't see myself using them in the future because I'm a big believer in the PRR stuff now. Like right now, I have none. I have 0 PRR. I had been using this, which I threw a PRR thing into, and I also have a little bit of DR on this thing as well, the axe block. And if I go into mountain stance, it shoots up to 23. So I'm taking almost 20% less damage, which isn't bad, but it's nothing like light armor or heavy armor. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was an okay build. I'm not sure if I would try it again, really. But hey, it got me completionist, so I'm not going to gripe. Now for the future, I'm thinking, first of all, I was thinking I wanted to do Wraith Monk, 12 Wizard, and 8 Monk, and kind of dump intelligence just enough so I could use have enough spell points, and play it as a melee, really. I thought that would be cool. But I'm thinking now, since they're saying that the level cap is going to go up to 30 sometime this year, I think I want to hit some of my Epic Destiny stuff, because right now it is pathetic. I've got that almost maxed, that's maxed, and I just started on this one. I just have a few points into some other EDs. Not really that great, right? So I'm thinking what I might do soon, excuse me, what I might do soon, instead of doing that Wraith Monk build, is actually go into a next life as an iconic, and so I can hurry up and get to epics, get level 28, and then turn back around and do an epic TR and get some epic past lives while I can, because I have completionist. I'm done. I mean, I'll obviously play in heroics again, but right now I'd like to do some epic stuff just as a change of pace, and I'd like a good build to be able to do that. One of my other characters in a static group is what is it called? It's Axel's build. I'll put the link in the description for that as well. It's his cleric build, and I just redid her enhancements to be in line with what he has, and it's actually decent so far in heroics. Um, but I don't want two of the same tunes, And I have an Artificer, so that's kind of out. And really, the Artificer, the line of its damage, it's really, really high when you start off in heroics, but then about level 16 or so, it starts to go down. I don't know why that is, but it just seems like the DPS is not there. Maybe it could be the destiny that I'm into. I don't know. But I think what I'd like to do is an arcane. They're very easy to farm with, so I think I might do that. And what I'm thinking is probably a Pale Master. Um, Maybe start off with Shatter Kai, one level of Rogue, then get however many levels until Firewall of Wizard, and then I can go into another level of Rogue, and so on and so forth, and the rest of it can be Wizard. That's probably what I'm going to do. That way it'll get me to epics quicker, and I don't have to go through the however many million XP to get to like level 14 or 15 or whatever. I can just start fresh off the boat, basically, and get some gear that I'll probably throw away because I'll be a wizard and not be using all that stuff. But it will give me trap skills, and that extra 30% XP is really helpful. Plus, as an iconic, there's not much else I can do. I can do Sun Elf for one level of Cleric, and also has some intelligence, points stuck in there. PDK would be not worth it. I could go Blade Forged, but it wouldn't be PM. That'd be better suited for like a Sorcerer or something. And Sorcerer is another option, but I kind of like to float around and be creepy for now, at least for a while. So I think I'm probably gonna go for that and see what my DCs and stuff are like with Pale Master. So, all right, that is the end of this video where I toot my horn and give myself a pat on the back for slogging through millions of XP in a game so that I can get a feat that I might not even take on my next life. So, thank you all for watching. This is Dirty William reminding you, until next time, to do the dirty work. This dude is like all locked up. What's up? Begun fleshling. Well, okay. Screw you, hippie. I'm gonna play with the dog. Hi. String table error? Jesus Christ.